I made a big mistake. This is the cheapest Porsche in the country. And a few years ago, I turned it into a Safari 911 as a tribute to my dad, who always wanted a 911, but sadly passed away from cancer before he could make that dream a reality. However, after we finished the build and drove it cross country, we let it sit for a bit. And things started to break on it. So today, we need to fix everything and do it fast, because we got invited to come with the car to a super prestigious car show that's in 1 week. The first problem we need to solve is in the door. Now, our 996 door is a little wonky, and that's because, as you can see, it has no frame above the window. So when you close the door, what's supposed to happen is the window is supposed to kind of go up into this little notch. Ours doesn't. And that's because our window switch is broken and the door thinks it's constantly open. So for the past couple months, I've unplugged all the lights, pretty much anything that would drain our battery, because the lights just stay on because it thinks the door is open. But the worst part is, because it thinks the door is open, the window, like I said, doesn't go up. And when you're on the highway, it makes the worst buffeting sound in the world. Will,
it's heinous. Yeah, no, I actually like...
What does it sound like?
But worse, honestly.
Yeah, and loud.
Yeah.
So what you need to do, allegedly, is replace this here door latch.
From Euro parts.
It's from FCP Euro.
Yeah. It goes like this.
The best.
Inside there.
It's a big chunky thing that's in here.
Yeah.
You can actually see that right there. So what we need to do is disassemble this door, which is something we've actually done before when our door lock stopped working on our road trip. We needed to use a screwdriver as a key.
This is like the 4th time I've taken this off, because I had to do it when we wrapped it too.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
This is not new waters for us, but we got to get this thing working. Otherwise, it's kind of annoying to drive, and it would be
actually nice. Yeah.
It would be a lot better. So.
And it's been like this for over a year.
Yeah, which is really stupid.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve that. Oh my god. You don't need to take that off.
You do, I think.
I don't know.
You do.
All right, undo this cruiser.
There we go.
Now, to try to get the door latch out. All right, so there's a little metal thing back there that has to be maneuvered. Oh, let's go. Nice. Dude, that thing is clapped, huh?
That's a bit rough.
Yo, this thing's got the Nokia speakers, and I swear to God, I thought that meant it was an Omega related thing. Will has just informed me that just means the ohms, which is the electrical output. I think it got a dang watch in it.
To swap in the new door latch, there are a few small pieces we need to transfer over from the old one that allow it to connect to the door handles and the locking mechanism. And with that taken care of, reinstalling it is just as simple as removing it. With everything bolted into place, we can plug the battery back in and see if it worked.
Jackson's plugging a jump pack on because the battery in this car sucks. We should probably get a new battery.
This battery's new, by the way. All right, key's gonna go in.
Close the door first. See if it closes from the outside. Oh wait, it just thinks it's.
Oh, it's getting there. There we go. Now it's good.
Nice.
Needed a few calibrations, I guess. A few Scalabrinis, some might say.
Brian's calibration.
Brian Scalabrini. Anyone know who that is?
Dude. Window.
Up top to you too. Great. You did a lot of work.
With the door latch seemingly working, we can flip the car around for something you aren't expecting. A surprise, really cool modification.
Behold! The great engine bay of our 996, and by great,
It's pretty horrible.
great would be a real stretch, I would say, because we have a lot going on here. It's dirty. It's bad. It looks horrible. There's things that jiggle around, and we gotta clean it.
You know what's better than cleaning things?
Putting carbon fiber and stuff.
Oh yeah, big time.
Now, this we've actually had for quite a long time, embarrassingly. It's been sitting at my house for maybe 3 years. I forgot about it for a little bit, re-remembered it because we were bringing this thing back to life. It's a little thing from our friends at Renline.
Shout out them.
Who make actually like the nicest stuff. This thing has so much Renline stuff on it. And if you have a Porsche, you should probably go get
this car is only good because of all the Renline stuff. Oh my god.
Woo! Dude, say something into the... Oh, it's a self-talking device, dude.
You hear yourself?
Yeah, this thing is actually
gorgeous, yeah.
On a 996, getting the stock intake out is really easy. One hose clamp and a big yank on it, and it just pops out. With the intake out of the way, we're doing our best to clean the grimiest part of the engine bay, although in the next few weeks, you guys will see that this won't matter much anyways. More on that soon. And now we're ready to install the Redline intake.
The engine bay is cleaner than it was, vaguely. We didn't do a great job of that, but we wiped some things down. And now we're gonna put together the new intake. This thing is so, that is such junk compared to that. That's actually crazy.
Installing the Redline intake is even easier to do than removing the factory intake because it's so much lighter and takes up less space. And with a few clamps and clips taken care of, it's ready to go.
That officially is a million times better than the stock one. That looks so dope, dude.
It actually does look really cool.
Dang. Our wires, we're not fixing that. That's classic, all right?
That's part of the game, bro.
Yeah. You just don't know it's advanced, all right? This is wiring at its finest.
That is wiring.
It has held up. Look at that. That was the old one. Disgusting, plastic, clean carbon. It won't be clean for long, probably, but that's nice. Once we finish everything else, we can see how this sucker sounds, too, which I think is going to sound pretty mean. We'll have to see. But it's got extra sucking ability now, and sucking sounds good.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
The next thing we need to handle on this is the headlights. You see, the headlights are pretty foggy. The headlights are bad. So we're gonna take them out, which is allegedly easy, sand them down, give them a little wet sand, and then get them clear coated, which I think will bring these to looking perfect. Nice.
All right, Will has found the headlight hole, which you're supposed to have a specialty tool, but we're just using this ratchet here, and that should allow the headlight. Oh, that's sick. Dang, dude, that was chill. Headlightless.
On camera, the headlights didn't look too bad, but in person, it was clear that they were super tattered. The clear coat was fading and wearing unevenly, and they overall just needed some help. Rather than spending thousands of dollars for a set of brand new lights from Porsche, we're gonna sand the clear coat off these entirely, get them down to the bare plastic, and prep for a fresh layer of clear coat that will make them look brand new, and hopefully last another 26 years. We have a body shop next door, which makes it super easy to get them done properly. But if you're really brave, you can do this yourself and even clear coat them yourself at home. After a lot of patience, making sure that they're sanded perfectly level, we should be ready to drop them off next door.
Headlight is ready to be painted, I think. So we're gonna go give it to the guy next door who's gonna paint it. Lovely jubbly. These have been sanded down. They're all smooth, one color. So when they get painted, they should look pretty decent. Definitely better than whatever was on there.
We've been working on this Porsche for a few hours now, and at some point, you just need real food. Luckily, we have Factor, who's the sponsor of today's video. Factor just introduced their healthiest meal yet, and it's honestly been a lifesaver while we're buried in projects like this. These meals are fresh, never frozen, and ready in about just 2 minutes. So instead of wasting time cooking, we can actually eat something good and get right back to work. What I love about it is it takes all the guesswork out of eating clean. There's no refined seed oils or refined sugars. The meals are all portion controlled, about 350 to 550 calories, and they're actually filling. And you can even customize proteins now. So if you want to swap chicken for shrimp or beef, you can do it at no extra cost. Super easy. Lately, I've been into this sesame teriyaki filet mignon. It makes me feel like I'm at an actual restaurant. They've got 80 plus rotating chef-crafted meals now. Even new Asian and Mediterranean options, so it never gets boring. Whether you're just trying to hit nutrition goals, save time, or just not live off gas station snacks, Factor makes it effortless. So head over to factor75.com or click the link down in the description and use code CrankshaftB50 for 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for an entire year. That's code CrankshaftB50 at factor75.com for 50% off plus free breakfast for an entire year. Huge thanks to Factor for fueling today's video, and let's get back into it.
While we wait for the headlights to get finished, we're gonna tackle something that this car desperately needs, and that's brakes. We've driven this car a lot, and ever since we bought it, we had 174,000 miles when we bought it, the brakes have never been changed for the entire time that we've owned it. So we don't even know how many miles these brakes actually have on them. And once we added these heavy wheels and tires and drove across the country, we did a number on them. And now they are totally fried. But yeah, let's get all this off, get the brakes going, take the old brakes off, put the new brakes on, and then we'll be braking. We should take the brakes off, I think. Well, safe to say the brakes are definitely gone. There is a huge lip on this rotor here, and the pad should not be that skinny. That's like pretty much no pad left. So we're doing the right thing by swapping these over.
Now, if you watch the channel, especially as of recently, it feels like we're doing a brake job in every single video, so this should be easy. We're just replacing the rotors and pads and flushing the old fluid. What could go wrong? Well, as it turns out, there's always something. And with the new rotors on, I'm trying to replace the pads, and they're putting up quite the fight.
Well, because more surface area than it is. We're running into a slight problem because the pin that holds the brake pads in, which is down here, is stuck. And we've been hitting it hard and it won't come out. So I'm not sure what else there is to do besides hitting it more.
Many minutes later.
All right, this is what was holding us up. This stupid pin thing. We finally got it out and we have new ones of these. So luckily this one won't have to go back in. I honestly think the fact that this just has a little rust on it is the reason it don't work no more.
I think it sucks.
Look, that's the old pad versus the new pad. There's how much pad life you should have. That's crazy. This is fried. Totally fried.
For the other four corners, we preemptively doused the pins in WD-40, and thankfully that made removing them so much easier. With all four corners taken care of and the brakes bled with fresh fluid, we can move on to the next and arguably most important bit of maintenance we're doing today.
All right, we have all the brakes done. It's time to do the oil. This oil has not been changed in a while. It's also
Clearly leaking out of some orifice there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do more on this car soon, but this is just the start. But you can clearly tell there's oil coming out of here from somewhere, even on the oil filter.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Thank you.
These cars are known to have some problems with wear in the engine, such as bore score and a whole bunch of other bad stuff. So we are using oil that is literally specifically formulated for this car. And let me tell you, it is not cheap. This 12 quarts of this box that I have down here was like $200 and something. And that's enough for pretty much one oil change. So we're using the best possible oil for this car. We want to take care of it. This stuff is supposed to be really good. So I hope it is. It's like automotive gold for this thing, so hopefully it should be good.
With the new filter and drain plug installed, we can fill up the car with the liquid gold and hope that it makes it last for longer, and move on to the next step in preparing the 911 for its big car show outing.
We need to clean this thing. It still has no headlights because Nico over there is working on them, but we can spray it down and make it a little better. It's disgusting. It hasn't been cleaned in like over 2 years, I feel like. So, about time. I'm getting shot at. Oh, I hit the camera.
Over the years we've had this car, it's gotten driven pretty hard off-road, and in the process, really dirty. On camera, it actually cleans up really well. A nice foam down, a good scrub of all the surfaces, and a spray wax, it really does look properly decent. But in person, things are a little different.
Well, the car cleans up pretty well, but what you probably can't see on camera is that there's a lot of little scratches. Wrap is not known for lasting many years, and this wrap has been on here for 3 years, and it's been outside and abused. So it is not in the greatest shape. If I get really close, you can see all the scratching. From 5 feet away, it looks really good, but we are putting it in a show, so I'd like to make it look pretty nice if we can. So Will's gonna try to polish this thing up, see how good we can get it. Honestly, it could be a lot worse. It's a rally car, so it's not the end of the world, but let's see what we can get to it.
Unfortunately, throughout the life of this car, it has been polished a few times, and since it's sat outside for so long on top of the light scratches, there's a ton of staining from hard water that even a pretty aggressive pad and polish compound simply isn't doing anything about. So, much to Will's disappointment, we're gonna have to give up on polishing the wrap. There is a positive though. Our freshly cleared headlights are done, so let's see how those look.
All right, look how these headlights came out. That looks so much better. It's crazy what wet sanding and a proper clear coat will do to old foggy headlights. This is gonna look so nice on the car. So now we're gonna put it in because I really wanna see what it looks like.
Installing the headlights is somehow proving to be a bit more difficult than removing them, even though it seems to be the same process. Getting everything to line up perfectly and clip back in is taking a little bit of patience, and with both sides done, one of the lights isn't plugging into the harness properly, and we'll have to figure out how to realign the plug in the car to match up to the headlight. But with all that done, I can safely say it was well worth the hassle.
This car looks so much better. It looks way cleaner. The headlights are a huge improvement, but we didn't just do the cosmetic mods. We also made it sound better, although we haven't heard it yet, and you haven't heard it yet, so let's go take it for a drive.
Dude, this car sounds so much better. I hope it comes across on camera. You can really hear the intake, and it sounds sick. And I forgot how much I love driving this car. It is definitely not the fastest car. It's not the best handling car, although maybe it was before we lifted it. But it's the car that puts the biggest smile on my face, and honestly, that's the most you can get out of something. It's the best feeling of any car, and it's by far my favorite car to drive. We brought it to the Adrian Concours. I sort of forgot to film anything, but the people loved it as much as I did, which made me really happy. That being said, this car needs some help. It's working well right now, but when you start the car, there's a rattling, and that is the timing chains. It's a common problem, but we need to fix it. And it's a little scary because we got to drop the engine, which is something Will and I have never done before. So if you want to see us try to do that in order to make this car perfect again, subscribe. And if you like this video, go watch one of these other ones because you'll like it. Also, if you want to support us, you should go check out LuftSense. These are car air fresheners that we made. They don't dangle from your rearview mirror. They're magnets and they smell great. So if you want to help us, you like these videos, go check out luftsense.com. Every purchase helps support the channel.